What's up, guys? It's your boy Ace, and today is launch day for those of you who bought the MVP and deluxe editions of Madden 21. So it's a pretty exciting day. You don't got to keep doing all the janky ass shit with EA Access and EA Play where you have to get a billion email accounts and keep using them over and over for the 10 hours. You have the full game now. You can just have fun. And my word of advice for everybody for this year is just to remember it's a game. You don't need to break stuff. You don't need to hurt yourself. You don't need to ruin your mental health. You don't need to be toxic to other people. We all want to win in this game. We're all competitive. But you don't need to ruin your life over it. It's not that serious. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the mini scheme that I'm going to be talking about, which is out of the Los Angeles Rams offensive playbook. This formation, which is gun, empty, Y off, is actually in other playbooks like the Saints. But the Rams have the plays we're going to be talking about. Actually, I'll make this into a full mini scheme video. So this might go a little longer than expected, but just to give you guys, just something to work with if you want an offense. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to sub in a fast running back at the outside wide receiver on the right. So how you do that, come to this formation page, and then you're going to hit RB or R1 on PS4. Then you can use your D-pad, move around. Make sure you highlight number 23 in this case. It should be a wide receiver there, and then just hit A or X, use your D-pad to go down, and then select the running back that's fast. That's my opinion. You can leave a wide receiver there if he's fast, but the reason I want two running backs is so I can audible down to iPhone Pro as well. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to set custom audibles as well. So once you select the formation, you can hit LT or L2 on PS4. And this is what you want your custom audibles to look like. Touch, pass, fake, jet, jet sweep, deep in, flat, PA, jet, deep, cross. And then the play we're going to come out in is hitch seams. All right, so let's talk about each of these plays. We're going to put A on a curl for hitch seams. And I'm not going to lie, this play isn't great, but you can use it. I kind of like the seam route from RB. That's the main reason that I'm using this, just to get a nice little seam throw. Not many things will be able to defend seams this year. So at least as of right now. So the reason I have the curl right next to the seam is because the seam is going to push back zones. And we're going to be able to basically lowball that because the seam is pushing everything back. Right here, I don't know how we dropped that. This is a stupid animation. You see backed off man coverage, those hitches will be open. So right here, this looks like cover 2. Let's see what happens. It is cover 2. You have the seam kind of pushes the cloud back on the right. I got sacked too quickly, but I was going to lowball the outside hitch on the right. And you're going to see what happens is you see how the cloud backs off because the seam is just pushing zones back. And that's a window. Let me look at my left tackle real quick. What happened? Ooh, that's embarrassing. So that's basically the setup for hitch seams. Really what you're looking for is, I'd say, you're probably not going to throw the hitch on the left often. It's really look at RB first. I'm kind of surprised that the safety played that. But you do have that seam throw against cover 3. Let's talk about the next play. All right, so actually I want to talk about touch, pass, fake, jet, jet sweep, and PA jet deep cross all together. So the reason I am even going into this video is because these 3 plays are unique to this formation inside the Rams playbook. So the thing I like about these plays is not because they're game breaking, but because they all look the same and it's confusing. You're going to see what happens is we'll run the first one, which is touch, pass, fake, jet. And you're going to see what happens is we get these little animations with our 2 running backs. You see, we didn't get a game because I'm not really paying attention to the alignment, which I'm going to go over in a second. But we'll go over jet sweep. You're going to see what happens. We have the exact same animation with both running backs. See how that works? Very hard to tell which is which, and you can get the user going the wrong way, and oftentimes the user is the guy who needs to make the play. And then for the pass play, this deep crosser, you can't change the routes on this play, by the way. This is what you have to work with. But the deep crosser is very good. Like, this is going to beat man coverage. It's going to get above certain zones. The pressure just came in, but I'll go over that play more. You'll see that crosser just gets a speed boost. And Cooper Kupp's not fast, but you're going to see he's going to get separation. See that separation? Very, very good route. And you can mix all three of those plays in. And if you notice, the two running backs, they do the exact same thing as they do on the fake and on the jet sweep. And if you start having success with either of those plays, the user is going to get aggressive. He's going to come up, and you're going to be able to throw this crosser right over him easily. See how the post is getting separation versus man coverage as well? Well, actually, I don't know if it's considered man or match, but nonetheless, we're getting separation. So all three of those plays are good. So let's talk about the alignment and when to use each of them. So jet sweep is going from right to the left. So do we want to run the play right now? The answer is no, because that safety just came up and you're going to see what happens. We're not going to have a guy that can account for him. He's probably going to make the play. Both of those guys actually shot. But generally speaking, if you see a safety or a slot cornerback in that vicinity, don't run it. In this case, he is unaccounted for, but he's further back. So I would feel more comfortable running it now than I would be previously. So you see how he came straight down, but we kind of had an ability to at least make a play, make a miss, and maybe get a touchdown. I feel more comfortable running it there. Right here, this looks like it's zone, and it looks like he's going to be dropping. In this case, I would definitely feel comfortable running the jet sweep. We'll see what happens. Linebacker's just making a great play, but we're getting to the edge, and there's no guy we have to worry about that's unaccounted for. Yet again, this is another look that we're going to run the jet sweep because there's no safety up there, and that's exactly what we want. That's the kind of gain we want. So when do you run the fake? The fake, generally, you can actually run that versus most alignments because of the way it works. You're not going to get 0 yards too often. It kind of depends on if the defensive line gets penetration. But you're going to see what happens is we can get upfield pretty easily. You can get upfield pretty easily with this play. I'm finding myself getting about 4 or 5 yards on average with this play. And it's overall solid. It just all looks the same. And it's fun. It's a cool little scheme. I'll go over the rest of the plays, and I'll talk about the audible down to iPhone Pro. So right here, deep in flat, I like to block my tight end because I don't want him to automatically release into the flats. I'm going to drag Y. And Y is always going to be your first read. Now, you can read the safeties first, and if it's cover 2, you can likely lowball the post. But generally, we're going to throw the drag. So let's look at the safety, see what happens. It's cover 2, but it's cover 2 man. I threw that way too late, but this drag is not getting pressed, so likely he's going to get open versus man. So right here, we'll go ahead and try to throw the drag here. That's just a really good cornerback making a really good play. Or was that Derwin? It might have been Derwin. He just came down very quickly out of his zone. Generally, you're going to get somewhere between 5 and 10 yards on that drag. So see safeties. And that's what we want, the drag. The dig is just really making things work for us with that drag. Now you can't throw the other routes like RB and stuff, but generally the drag is what's going to be open. Just like this. If it gets usered, of course, it'll be taken away. It's really hard to man it up because you can't get your hands on him. So right here, I know it's like a cover 0 or something. It's a good opportunity to get the fake and get the pass going because the crosser is really good. Just like that, boys. So overall, it's a solid little scheme. It's fun. And it's something worth exploring. If you have a custom playbook, you can add this in. It's just pretty fun. So I wish it had more, this playbook had more 22 personnel formations. It only has iPhone Pro, but you're going to see we can audible down. Since we have 2 running backs on the field, we can audible down and run some of these run plays. You can just look at it and find which ones you like. Good play by the linebacker, but it's just a pretty fun little tricky scheme. And I wouldn't recommend running it all game or anything, but if you're in this playbook, it's definitely worth exploring. You can see it's any kind of formation with a fullback is still pretty good this year. I'm not going to say it's as good as it was last year, but it's still pretty good. So keep running this stretch. So overall, it's pretty solid. Hope you guys enjoyed the first tip of launch day, or I guess the only tip of launch day, but I hope you enjoyed this video on launch day. Nonetheless, drop a like if you did. Subscribe for daily Madden 21 content. If you want to join our Discord community, you can go to our description. Just click the link. It'll take you to our chat. There's like 500 people in there, and we're all talking Madden. It's a good time. So anyways, that's it for the video. I'll see you guys later.